today at the program, where they talk to the spokesperson for the All People's Congress APC party when I CDI at Tunis. Ego can tell we how the party they plan for organizing convention. When at the studio this morning, one more time, I want to welcome Mr. Tunis, where they with we at the studio. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the program.
Good morning again, Khadija. Thank you very much.
All right, after the 2018 election, some group of APC party member them, we call themselves the National Reformation Movement, NRM, then became the party na court because they say the party for pull the selection clause na the 1991 constitution. This and other issue then be make the NRM being carry the APC party na court. Because of the court issue there, so the party not be able for all plenty by the activity them. And serve this BNTM, one member again, na the APC party, when Alfred Peter Conte, been carry the party na court because it say the current executive not be legitimate for lead the party and they not for all the convention. Well, Justice Adrian Fisher will be the look inside this case, this BNTM, where he done for look inside this case, it being give judgment to the APC party. Well, what in these judgments mean and how the party plan for carry on with the activity them and self-holding convention. Now that make we get CDI at Tunis between at the studio when at the spokesperson for the All People's Congress APC party. Mr. Tunis, before we can look at what in this judgment mean, where Justice Fisher been give this BNTM, let we start for talk about the APC as an one by the main opposition party them. How una don they function with all them challenges there, so court cases them, where the party be don they get this BNTM.
Thank you very much, Khadija. Good morning again. Clearly, a challenging, of course, when you look at the internal and external dynamics. First of all, when you take the external dynamics, the democratic space will been available under the previous administration to opposition parties when they get the freedom for function uninterrupted, not harassed, and giving all the leeway democratic parties forget as far as it relates to engagement of the public, challenging issues of governance. We know this enjoy that one day much under this current administration. I mean, when I all go witness the number of times we membership don't be harassed. When I see we party office be attacked by the police, over 60 canisters of tear gas fired into our office. You see so many of we people don't stand trials. We don't lose members them. They don't kill either by authorities or operatives of the ruling party. I mean, we don't suffer all of them challenges then they. But in any case, also internally, you don't like your introduction clearly states you don't see all of the different court cases them where they deal with. But with all of that, the party don't they function. I mean, we don't under the then circumstances then we don't they challenge issues we get for do with national interests. We don't take part on things that we go ensure say we continue with the democratic system and we ensure say we bring to the fore the human rights situation of the people of this country. We talk on the economic hardship where the people of this country they go through. I mean, we all the witness that na fuel price don't go up so now to 10,000, and we even expect say it might go up higher than that. We don't see unilaterally the bank governor just don't pull a statement talking about redenomination of our currency. That shows how much we currency don't depreciate to a level where it's unacceptable anymore. I mean, it shows the backwardness will they continue for good. So as opposition, we always don't they bring to the fore then issues they are. So regardless of the many challenges we will they face internally as a party and also externally from the suppressions and harassment of this current administration.
Apart from the suppression and harassment where you they complain about, some of our members them don't they accuse the APC party for being this kind of silent opposition party because issues then when of national interest when they expect say the party for come out with a strong position, they know they see don't they happen why.
We actually didn't do that. It's just unfortunate that we get a government we just don't want for we first of all not respect the rule of law. We first of all we also not respect democratic tenets, and also not just one forget anything for do with opposition parties. I mean, severally we don't come out strong. I don't highlight some of the issues when, for example, the massacre happened at Paremba Road. We come out, the killings in Lunsar, in Makeni, and other places. We highlight them. Even where the release of then young men with the arrest from Makeni happened, and we find out, say, 10 of them are still missing. We don't continue for raise that. What happens to the 10? Why make them still not able, their families not able to see them mate? All of these things we don't highlight. The economic hardship with people they go through, we don't highlight. The manipulations we they see with institutions, how the states, they so much go for capture institutions, then at this country we don't highlight issues where they happen at parliament, from the election of the speaker to the removal of we MPs then from parliament, up to the by-elections, the many by-elections we don't see, up to the one at Tonko Limbawe, a young man, 14-year-old, was killed by a military officer. All the issues there we don't highlight, and these are things we don't push the government on, but we just not get a response from them at all. And that is the situation we'll find ourselves in. It is not even just APC as opposition, but all other opposition parties will tell you. But as the main opposition, we have been very much pushful of things that way they happen at this government. But it's just unfortunate that we get a government where just not respect democracy and the rule of law.
Highlighting some of our activities them and actions them for hold the government accountable and also keep them on their toes, but still view and opinion on the street now that the opposition silence. Whose medium don't they use for them issues they also for communicate them, because all them thing the way they mentioned, so now one way people would think say it is vibrant, but people need to feel the APC as an opposition in holding government accountable.
Around there on several radio stations and television stations, we don't pull several press releases, we don't write several letters, we don't even attempt for make delegations to State House where we all see on full view of cameras where the security personnel then even push leaders of political parties. So, I mean, we don't do them things they are so. But again, like I did talk about state capture, I have to say, like, I begin on the premise, say, the democratic space where being available to political parties not available now. And I state the instances and situations, the way they make that one, they happen. Even when it comes to the media, not to all media houses they give the opposition the opportunity like we owner and other media houses they give now. I don't complain, like for example about the state broadcaster. It go interest owner for no say. It don't take almost 2 years. We have never been invited to the SLBS. Even where we invite them for cover with press conferences, either they not go show up, or if they show up, they not go even show it in and go cover. So all of them things they are so we they suffer as opposition party. And it's not supposed for happen in a democracy, because if you're not able to come sit down and articulate your problems as opposition, like how are they do so now, the people of this country no go get. So even where you go use social media, then go say, oh, not to the official, but as opposition, we don't face them challenges. But in any case, we don't push and we go continue.
Now we look at the party in power, the SLPP, the same way them be there in opposition, then gets like every week press conference with the media. And then even hold press conference on the streets. As a young journalist reporting, then do hold press conference with them and do attend press conference now cutting 3 with the SLPP. And looking at the APC, you make mention of issues that don't happen recently, like this issue of the loans, the new loans, and other major issues. Them for long as people not see the APC call a press conference, for instance, na them party office for talk on national issues.
Because we get a lot of distractions through then court cases, then they and we get injunction on so many things we will not for do. The court injunction, the cases they're not doing it, then still they. And also before the COVID interventions, we always been to get press conferences on issues where we feel say na national issues. I mean, when they introduced the state of emergency and all the rules and the COVID laws, that one they reduce. But in any case, we have always had a way of communicating with position on issues. Of course, there are some way we not come out strong hits because we like the redomination where you talk about, we get for study the economic implications and come out with a strong position as main opposition. There are certain national issues, you know, go just rush for put out a press release. You get for ensure say you give the facts and make people understand the economic implications of some of them moves they are so, such as waiting we did talk about now, so the redomination of the currency where the bank governor unilaterally don't decide for do. You know, we in all of this, we know the hearing from the government, we know the hearing from the president, we don't know in whereabouts, and you know, we don't know waiting really. Now the reason we make a day out of the country up to this moment, all of them things then they will on the race. But like I stated, you go expect that when parties raise then kind issues, then they government go respond. But in all of them things they are so they raise, the government just get complete disregard of the people of this country. They know they respond, and because they not get regard for the people of this country, they not get regard for the political parties where they represent them people, and so they just not feel say they need for response to we at all.
Mr. Tunis, let me bring you to the issues around the APC party. We make you there so this morning. So many issues them don't they happen within owner as a party, and some of the issues they are so they lead the party in a courts we been put a hold to some of the activities them will be done due for law on our own. Even the convention that they already get a date, but the court been put an injunction on that. What to make the APC party not be able to solve the issues then internally rather than some members being decide for go seek redress na the court?
Thank you very much, Khadija. I mean, this is something where the party make every move for ensure say we solve internally. Let us first of all understand say the first case where the three young men from NRM come with, then start first by calling for reform within the party. And no reform now go start na any institution if you not look at the document, when are the legal documents where they guide the activities and functions of that institution day. So when they bring the issue of reform, the leadership of the party decide for look at the constitution of the party. And we set up the CRC, the Constitutional Review Committee. We start the review process. We complete the review process. And if we all can remember, we go lock off or go adopt this very constitution. And in the process, then decide for go court. After they don't go PPRC try for mediate. But then decide for go court, and we be there on that court case day for almost 1 year. And that court case day back slam injunction, or we also hamburg we activities as opposition party. It make we kind of weak because we'll not be able for to do the things that we're supposed to do as opposition party. So a delay with timetable will be done set as opposition party for really move. And in the end, we begin for negotiate and sign MOU and resolve that matter day internally. We make NRM go withdraw that matter day from court. But then just 2 days after that, Alfred Peter Conte, also when I be a member of NRM, we decide for move and set up a own arrangement, go back to court again. And when Alfred go back to court, the court again slam injunction of we be even tougher than the first injunction, because the courts tell we completely say we will not for hold any meetings, any conference or of any similar nature, either by the executive or associate or anybody. So and to a large extent, it bring the party to a halt. I mean, even though we still been the function internally. So that matter, they still they court, by the way, and not done it.
We can look at the various matter them and how then court cases there, so don't they affect the APC as a party. The program now Good Morning Salon, and it come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Can we still get the spokesperson for the All People's Congress APC party, CD Yaya Tunis, where they will at the studio this morning. They talk about how the party plan for all the convention, just after where the court they don't give judgments by the case where they be get na court with one pandem party member them. Mr. Tunis, earlier I be ask you the question why the party not be able for settle some of them problems them we then get will be lead to some of the court cases them will not be all. And safe within the term one they not court with some of them a member there, so people don't they see the APC party they get some certain side groups them with a member in the party where they form their own group them back. For example, people don't they hear about the big six and other one them. How then group they are so when they go form aside don't they affect the APC as a party?
Khadija, like the APC gets structures through which they operate. These are all people we, I go say, probably get grievances in their own meaning of it, and decide say then for the discourse among themselves as groups, and some of them escalate them to like court level. Some of them just continue for discuss among themselves and engage the leadership of the party on then grievances them and profile solutions as to how we for move forward. But as it is now, not only the Alfred Peter Conte issue and as well as I think Bomne, that then two issues then they will get in a court. And the Alfred Peter Conte issue still the court, like I stated earlier, the judge now decide on that matter they it. However, waiting happened that during the course of the court sitting, we as a party be asked for waiting then called variation, where we ask the judge that in as much as we did court, we want for make it allow we so that we will go ahead and adopt the constitution. We now in actually go kickstart all of waiting their issues there about when are the internal democracy of we party. And if I can recall, the judge being initially make ruling in April, where a GUI the go ahead, but the dates we been given in April will not be able to meet that date day, of course. So we will get for go back to RAM and ask for extension. We know that a rule on recently, and in orders where GUI for go and adopt the constitution, and it give you strict orders of specific things that we will need for do with timelines and dates. And so now that we don't begin for work towards.
What's in the time frame for the adoption of this new draft constitution?
Well, the order we the Honorable Mr. Justice Adrian Fisher Kiwi now that the 17th, 9 emergency delegates conference for adopt the constitution for start
17th of what?
of September 2021, and it will end on the 19th of September 2021. But of course, before ever we go, we get other things that we'll need for do. Like for example, the order asks that we set up a technical committee which will comprise 21 people. And that technical committee has already been set up, and the composition of the technical committee also was determined by the court. It's been very clear that the party forgive 9 members we for serve na that committee day, plus one more person we for be the chairman. But the chairman for be an elderly member of the party, respectable elderly member of the party, will not belong to the current national executive. That I want. Then the plaintiff, when Alfred Peter Conte, for give 4 representatives, and one of them for serve as secretary. And the diaspora membership of the party for give 3. The NRM, when them be initially start the court case for give 2, and the so-called Big Six, where you mentioned just now, then say for give 2 members. And that committee they'd already set up, they'd all actually begin for work according to the mandate where the court order give them.
So with all the instructions there so from the court based on the ruling where they and gonna go ahead for go and adopt the new constitution, the members they all way the court instructive for the part of this 21-man committee. How they don't they cooperate since the Temuna set up the committee to now?
Well, I mean, the committee gets a maiden meeting with the PPRC, where, of course, now the fourth defendant and the one with the court order for supervise most of the instructions they also were entailed in the orders of the court. Then go all been daily, they cooperate very well, and after that, they don't get a smaller meeting of an inside committee. We don't meet na the party office, so they don't already start their activities, and then cooperation so far very good, and we hope say it will continue in that manner. The order is very clear as to the mandate and activity of this particular committee, as well as the orders also given to the Secretary General and the party as to other things that we then need for do leading to the convention itself. Like, for example, the election of 20 delegates from the Women's Congress, 20 delegates from the Youth League, and also 5 delegates each from all the 132 constituencies. And we're supposed to do all of this latest the 31st of August. So you can see the enormous work we need for do as a party before the 31st of August, and also leading to the 17th and 19th of September 2021. So if they ask why, the party so much engaged with this now, because we don't want for miss any point now also per this court order. We want for ensure say we able to meet this court order to the latter, and we able for accomplish all waiting the orders to ask we for do, and this time we'll be able to go and adopt this constitution. We go really start at the beginning of bringing the party together.
Okay, continue for the with we. CD Tunis, the spokesperson for the All People's Congress APC party. They talk about issues them na the party. The program na Good Morning Saloon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM.
We still get CDA Tunis, the spokesperson for the All People's Congress APC party. They talk about how them party they ready now for all the convention where the courts been ruling say therefore all for adopt the new constitution. Mr. Tunis, you don't talk about how una don't they make efforts based on the 21-man committee where the party don't set up from the ruling where the court been give, and una they prepare now for go into the convention for adopt the new constitution. Before una reach to this decision, now certain people will be aggrieved that the party been going to court before the court been give this particular ruling. Earlier, I be ask you about the cooperation of their member there. So, aside the cooperation, after where the court we don't give this ruling, how the members them will be aggrieved and gonna court, how the party don't they handle them?
I mean, like I said, you not go ever get 100% satisfaction, Khadija. But the thing is, this court order specific as to the responsibilities as far as it relates to how everybody for implement within the court don't tell we. The party gets specific rules then way for play, especially the Secretary General of the party. Like, for example, the court make them very clear to say if I make the resources of the party available to this committee so that they go able to do their work. And that make the party offices and other things that we go facilitate the work of this particular committee unhindered, available right now. The Secretary General, they make sure say they get access anytime they want for meet. If they even decide for move out of Freetown for meet with people outside, as long as now for help plan and prepare for this conference, when that the court tell them for do, that will be available to them. And also other areas than they, such as I talk about the elections of delegates, then before we go into the conference, all that the planning they on, and all open and transparent, so that at the end of the day, every party go be a part of it, and nobody not go come tomorrow and say, oh no, will not be nobody's, will not be nobody.
If possible, on do all thing then they for meet up the dates where the court give now.
We not get choice. Now that make we move as much as we can for how we meet, because like I said, this is not court order, and the judge been very, very much strict where they deliver in orders. and make it very clear to we say you not go accommodate any more excuses, and we therefore ensure say we meet the orders as they don't state them, and as a party we dey work assiduously for ensure say we not breach already things then they will be supposed we don't do, like we don't publish the constitution into newspapers, we don't make copies available to the plaintiff in lawyer, to the PPRC as well as to the court, and things we don't so far they meet the deadlines then we the courts don't give it. The difficulty will be the elections of then delegates then they, because of the time frame we involved, but we dey part the planning as to how we go able to do them successfully without failing the deadline where the courts don't give you.
Making copies available to the litigant and lawyers, them, how would they relate with the person we been go with this case in the courts?
Well, it get in all there. Unfortunately, in the overseas, America is sued, there you go. But it get somebody with a give power of attorney to, and that person is a member of this 21-man committee, and also it gets a lawyer. We constantly they in touch with the lawyers of the defendants, and like I say also in all of this, the judge give order to the fourth defendant when our PPRC for make them supervise all of this, so that at the end of the day we'll be able to implement these orders. And so far we have been liaising with the PPRC as to every step we would undertake for ensure say we not go out of the orders of the court. We really want to do this in a way we will not go give anybody the leeway for bring excuses or for bring more problems for we, because we want to ensure say we move on as a party and begin to represent the people of this country well. The people of this country are still hopeful that the APC go able to organize and come back. They are fed up with the current system, and we want to give them that opportunity.
So at this moment, how the party they deal with the issue of the NRM?
NRM not the court anymore. We don't get MOU with NRM, unfortunately, because of the current development. We're not going to be able to implement that MOU day. But NRM not the court with the party anymore, even though one part of them still the court when a boom name. But to a large extent, the party be don't they engage with NRM, and the matter we be don't go as far as signing an MOU when not be for just for implement. However, you know, apart from NRM, who say we deal with NRM, now they will want for deal with everybody else, which is to be united, for get understanding, and for make I'm very clear that the court not going to be the solution to we problems. I mean, sitting on the table and sorting out ourselves as a party and moving forward now the best solution down there, because at the end of the day, it will be constitutional, and then it will be favorable to everybody. But in any case, we still they go with these orders, and we go adopt the constitution and move forward as a party.
The program na Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. We still get CD Tunis inside the program. We now the spokesperson for the All People's Congress Party. And una don't send a text message them on 7798191, and also now we Facebook page and attempt for make we read na messages them Khadija.
The first one I go read, they say, please ask Yaya Tunis if solving membership issues is not part of the court's order. They come out from Abubakar.
This one say, Mr. Tunis, don't you think, in my honest opinion, wisdom, that there is a thunder rolling in the APC as things stands?
This one they say, please ask your guest if the APC SG is one of the main targets for these court cases. It seems as if they want him to step down.
This one on the issue of the radio stations and SLBC say, whether ask Mr. Tunis whether their request to SLBC for access they have claimed we are declined, we are formal. Whether they have filed any formal complaint to the management of those radio stations when they were denied access. 3 say whether they have ever filed any complaint to the independent complaints to the IMC against the denial of access to their party by radio stations, including the SLBC.
This one will come out from NZA Marana on Facebook page. They say, why will you want to form a party when you can't fund its activities? Forming a civil society organization can be much better than forming a political party that you cannot fund its activities. For APC to settle your internal fight against your members first before criticizing government, cause a united opposition party is a hope for the people of every nation and government in waiting. For the redomination, a lot of literature has justified currency redomination as a vibrant tool of microeconomic management from a broader perspective. So at this stage, people should not be panicked. The bank will educate the public further. The Central Bank of Sierra Leone wants to effectively be able to control the money supply owing to increased currency substitution.
This one say the idea of denominating the leones might be a good decision, but it shouldn't have been in this period. Another message from me, they say, indeed, the land authorities must stop people not to encroach in disaster-prone areas. We continue for look at more text messages. Then me say the program say this is really sad and dangerous. Inmates with pregnancy, no matter what they did, they need special care. Well,
from the messages then they come to studio guests, CDA at Tunis for Lego respond.
One for tell plenty thank you to the one that always send text messages. Let me make them very clear, say in all of them things there are, so the plaintiff and the defendants then get representatives through the lawyers as far as it relates to issues we get for do with the court or the judge, and as far as it relates to issues we get for do with the orders of the court. In terms of membership issues, I sure say the judge don't explain down the clearly to the lawyers that we involved in this case as to waiting a mean about solving membership issues, and then they very very clear to the lawyers them, and they go communicate down it to their respective people and whether they represent in this matter at the court. Of course, the Secretary General and one of the people and we Alfred Peter Conte take go court. They take the chairman and leader go court. They take the Secretary General go court as well as the party, the APC. So they part of the people where they defend themselves in a court. And all other issues, like I stated, we focus now really on this court order and how we go implement. We, from the order Nayaso and the timelines then we the judge give, if we get for succeed for do all the elections against the 31st of August, we first election for be held on the 20th, because the judge make it clear that all the elections for be done within 12 days period. So if that is the case, then by the 20th, the latest will for don't start the elections they are. So now that we focus on now as leadership of the party, and we try for see how we go draw up that timetable day for the attention of this committee and the PPRC, so that we go forge ahead for begin for implement that aspect of the court order for allowing us find we self wanting by the court.
Right.
And also another text message we know reply to the issue of the radio stations them, if in any way una formal denial them been given or una don't report this to the IMC.
Specifically we not report to IMC, but I mean as specifically bring this issue in because they talk about the issue of democratic space, and this now something why I don't raise even in other areas then, but we not do any formal complaint, but I begin for voice and mouth as the official spokesperson of the party, because this is something I don't notice, I don't realize, I don't look forward, I don't study, and I believe say voicing it out, I don't begin for send a message. We not reach that side, they will say I don't write formal letter.
Somebody they say if the management are aware of this, we not report to
management. Of course. I mean, we just done the electoral legal reforms, and this now one issue will come up, and they ask the director general directly, and again response we give, and the literature day as to the response we give, and his response was that then programs that we then get right now a developmental focus, so they not feel say they need opposing views. So they not necessarily need for invite opposition parties for the programs. That was his answer, so we may not feel say opposition parties are part of development. So for say you don't need opposing views for developmental programs, I don't feel say now an excuse that they for left a whole group of people out of programs the way they cover now a state broadcaster for that matter.
All right, so una party they work towards the convention una supposed for all by the court's ruling for adopt the new constitution by September. After that, waiting next for the APC party.
Well, after that, the constitution itself get for go through processes. It will be brought to the PPRC. Once, if the delegates then adopt them, it will be brought to the PPRC, and then the PPRC go later gazette them if anybody not challenge them. And then once it is gazetted, it will become a working document of the party, and that will dictate now going forward. But then we get for still go back court for let Justice Fisher now really hear the substantive matter of we get for do with the current executive. And then in all of that, we go now plan we say for we next lower level elections, and then also hopefully the elections of we presidential candidates.
How sure the APC they say after all this matter we not go don settle and other court case no they show up again?
Well, we know they hope for any other court case, and we really they appeal that everybody could support these court orders, and once we don't adopt the constitution, let we allow the new constitution for dictate, because the functions of the party are clearly defined in the new constitution. How people go be elected into offices, how many years then for holding offices, then all of them things then they clearly defined, and these are issues where people get currently we make some of them go court. So I not feel say once we don't adopt the constitution and trying to move forward, people really forget issues with their problems.
The party in any way concerned about the white paper hanging and in relation to presidential candidates then?
From the onset, we always don't say the commissions of inquiry were illegal, and we don't, I think we are vindicated by some of the judgments that we don't get from the appeals court. If you read the judgment in the Diana Konomani appeal, the appeals court judges they make them very clear. They question the legitimacy and legality of the commissions of inquiry, and that make them vindicate Diana Konomani. We make the government say them go to Supreme Court. So from the onset, we were right that the commissions of inquiry were illegally set up.
But una concern about una presidential candidates them with the commission of inquiry and the white paper?
We know say people we are politically targeted in the commissions of inquiry. Now that make them not allow the law and legitimacy for setting from the onset. And we still hold review say they are illegal, they are illegitimate. Whatever actions the government decide for take, they are taking it illegally, and they use force and power for take their actions but of course those actions could be reversed in the future. Let me make that very clear.
All right, thank you very much, CDA Tunis, spokesperson for the All People's Congress APC party. Every day we tune at the program, they talk about how the party they prepare now for all the convention for adopt the new constitution, as the court being ruling say them for go ahead and do convention for adopt the new constitution where the party go work with for continue for all the activity them. Now they end the program. Good morning, Salon for today on edition. Alex Lawrence Koma and Michael Sambola and then produce the program. DJ Lava give with technical support, Moses Kavura and Usman Kamara and they make on our watch real live our Facebook page. One for so many thanks, Mr. Tunis. We join me at the program.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
I mean, Khadija Bangura, they say, get yourself a wonderful day and listen to me the show at 12, 7 o'clock in the evening at 10 for national news. At 9, we other current affairs program within the day. Goodbye.
Musa is Kamara, they say bye-bye.